Hi Cancer, welcome to your March reading. Welcome to the pajama series. We're doing the Pisces season videos in bed because you know how they love to sleep. And it's a nice little break. Happy Lunar New Year. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's get into this. First two cards, 10 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah. There's going to be a little uncertainty about work, and at the end of the month, you're just flying. Everybody loves you. They love the work you've done. You feel like in a month, you're able to make more progress than you have in a year. People, they begin to really respect your craft, and your name starts to become synonymous with quality and hard work and long-term commitment, all things that you naturally are. So it's really good. It's really, really good. You also have Mars moving into Gemini, and you have the Sun moving into your 10th house in Aries in the middle of the month. So these are both going to add to your prospects financially, to the point where you might feel a little bit indulgent at the end of the month, like you can kind of play around with money. I would suggest you not. Like I told you last time, the best thing that a Cancerian can do for themselves is to save up quite some money. So when the ups and downs, like the tide of abundance is for Cancers, does what it does, you don't have to worry, because you have this tide-free zone where you keep your financials. It's a good idea. All right, so let's see here. It's a time to reorganize your thoughts. It's a time to reorganize resources and perhaps even pick a new direction. Now, for a lot of you, that Mars in the 12th house in Gemini means that you're thinking about the past, and you're thinking about somebody who wronged you from the past, and perhaps you're even thinking about forgiving them. There's some new understanding reached regardless of whether you choose to forgive them or not, which leads to a lot of closure, resolution for you. It's very positive. Now, along with this forgiveness, of course, what gets kicked up is some of those, rather scandalous feelings. And you may be given the choice to either be the other person in someone else's relationship or to step out on your own relationship. You should do neither. The chances of getting caught, maligned, or really hurting other people's feelings are very high, and you should avoid it at all costs. From March 20th to the 24th, we have a Mars-Saturn square, and that has to do, again, with Gemini in the 12th. So it's a mutable square on those mutable axes. And for you, what it does is it frees you up to, perhaps for the first time this year, say how you really feel. So between the 20th and the 24th, get it done. Whatever you feel like saying, whomever you feel like confessing your feelings to, whatever's been bothering you at work, whatever's been bothering you within the family, say what you have to say. Get it out. It will be very, very good for you. Now, talking it through also leads to quite a lot of success with work. 8 of Swords, because what it does is it removes every one of these swords. You've accumulated them, for about a year, since last March. You've just been holding on to them and playing that mother role. Everything is fine. I can handle this. I'll be all right. I have to look out for other people. I can't let anyone freak out right now. We'll be okay. And I think it's taken about a year for you to realize that you have quite a lot stored up and quite a lot that you have to say. So when you start to say it, things get really good really fast. I don't think you've realized how much you've been carrying around, or perhaps how isolated you felt, but I'm sure a lot of you do. But some of you may have been sublimating it so much that it hits you during that square really hard, you know? Like, wow, I've been isolated, or I've been lonely, or I've been unhappy. And you find your way back. You find your way back to yourself. You find your way back to the essence of who you are, and that strength, that touchstone that makes you who you are. That beautiful motherly instinct, that strength that we all rely on to hold us together. You find it again in March. Saying what you need to say between, you know, those 20 to 24th squares, it really does bring you back to you. Between this and forgiving a past love interest because you finally understand everybody's position in it or place in it, it's just so positive for you. Makes you feel really good about you. And as we round out the month, you're just feeling great, and you're getting all this really positive feedback, and everybody's telling you how much they love you and they need you, and it's just really good. It's wholesome. It's secure, it's safe, you know, it's deep water. You feel better. You feel better. The ocean is back and you feel better. So as this tide comes in, one of the things that I want you to think about, and I mentioned this in the Pisces video as well, and I'll be mentioning it in all the videos, but especially for you and for Scorpio, it's important for us to talk about this concept of feeling and wiring and how the two work together. So the sensation that you identify as feeling is actually the sensation of your brain wiring to a new experience. And depending on what kind of experience it is, that's the kind of sensation that you become aware of. So that means every time someone makes you feel a certain way, or anytime you allow yourself to feel a certain way, this is almost like alchemy. You change your brain, you rewire your brain, which is neuroplastic and can rewire as much as it wants to, however it wants to. And so that gives you quite a lot of power, especially in March when the Piscean emotional ocean is so accessible, for you to wire your brain for your ultimate good and success, or very much to your detriment if you allow it. So it's important to only allow those positive feelings in. It's important to be really mindful of how people are making you feel, how your internal dialogue is making you feel, and what does that mean for your brain, and what does it mean you're being wired to. Because one of the things here that I have written down is, in March, you really do begin to understand the connection between your emotions and your health, as do many people with Pisces season. So as you begin to identify where these feelings are coming from, you also have this other knowledge, and you become cognizant of the fact that this is having a deep effect on your brain, therefore your behavior, your personality, your psychocybernetic settings, however you want to put it. You may also find that in March, towards the end of March, as you have these big realizations, and especially around the full moon, that you become quite in tune with your spirituality. You want to pray, you want to meditate, you want to commune, you know, with this ether that we live in. And it's a great time to do so, especially because things are rolling and going so well, mashallah, at the end of March, that to give thanks would be only logical. Now, the other thing that I would like to point out is that because there is so much attractive energy here, because there is so much that wants to come to you, you've really got to be careful when it comes to other people's relationships and your money. You have to be careful that you don't take it too far when it comes to taking risks, that you don't take it too far when it comes to attracting other people. Just because you can attract them doesn't mean you should do anything with them, especially if they're involved with somebody else. And also not to talk too much about your money and not to make any investments or spend any money that you're confused about. Unless you understand exactly what you're doing, do not spend that money. And certainly don't talk about it. Get real smart about that now. Good. Very good. So positive. Let's look at these cards. Love you. Hi, Cancer. Welcome to the second part of your reading. Apologies for the reading being late, but I have to say that until about March 20th, when that Mars-Saturn square happens, what you're dealing with is really a way to understand the past and forgive. From March 3rd to now, it has been really tumultuous because I think figuring out the longer arc of your life, that 10 of Wands moment, it's quite a task, right? That 2 of Pentacles there is showing you how difficult it is for you to make up your mind about the long road. And I think that has to do with apprehension about, do I pick the right thing now that I can do long term? I don't want to do things that I don't love to do. I want to be useful and successful, of course, but I also would like to enjoy this long-term career choice. That's going to lead you for the most of the beginning of March right to that 8 of Swords, which is, I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm not sure if I can. And then in the next couple of days here, around the 12th or the 13th, on the new moon, you start to see the air clear. And although you are still apprehensive and a bit afraid of, pushing the button on any one decision, that new moon comes in and makes you very aware once again of who you really are. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in forgetting who you are. Like the tide, there is a tendency for Cancerians' memories to be washed clean every now and then. I mean, you don't forget anything that anyone else has done to you, but you do have a tendency to forget who you are and what you have done for you. So the new moon brings you a clarity that you desperately need. Until the new moon, it's been shaky. It's been uncomfortable. It's been a dark night of the soul for some of you because you can see yourself from the outside. You can see how you have, perhaps through another's eyes, you were able to see how you hold yourself back. And when you realize that, it's a natural progression to end up here. When you realize that you've been held back, especially when you know it's by your own hand, even if you didn't realize it at the time, what that causes is a surge within you. Now you want to accomplish all those things. Now you want to let yourself move forward in all the ways that you were holding yourself back. See, once you figured out that you were holding yourself back, then it becomes quite easy to tap into all those areas and move forward. So they're the Magician. Now, after that Mars-Saturn square, it is the perfect time to get into this Magician energy and really allow the people around you to see how versatile you are, to see how varied your work life can be and your work ambitions are. Put your all into whatever it is that you believe in, and you see the benefits just rack up. After the 20th, things just get better and easier and more lively, and you're very welcoming of that Aries fire. The Ace of Cups there with the 3 of Pentacles, it's not outside the realm of possibility that someone serious comes into your life. The Ace of Pentacles, Judgment, it's not outside the realm of possibility that something that you are speaking on, something that has to do with you speaking, ends up earning you a lot of money. Now,
towards the end of the month, you will find that the things that you spoke about at the Mars-Saturn square, they come back to be examined again. You can see now that the things that you felt here in the beginning have a direct result, have a direct effect, on how much you can earn. But more importantly, earning is never the Cancerian problem. Not how much you can earn, but how much you can hold on to. My father always says this, and this is something I'm very happy to pass along. Making money is easy. Holding on to money is almost impossible. So while, of course, you should be proud of yourself for picking a direction and choosing which way you want to go, that's wonderful. But just keep in mind towards the end of the month that the lesson you really need to learn here from all of this is not how to earn, but how to retain. And let me tell you, retaining and saving money in general, is emotional. If you cannot, I think this is a Warren Buffett quote. If I'm wrong, please correct me. If you can't control your emotions, you'll never be able to control your money. Right? Money is a tool that we often use when we are emotional. This is a connection that becomes very clear to you at the end of the month, where, God forbid, you either find yourself once again feeling like, oh no, I've run out of money, or you find yourself thinking, hey, I've finally made what seems like a sea change. I don't feel the need to use money to indulge my toxicity because I'm dealing with my toxicity head on. And one of the things I'm realizing is that when my mind is messy, I don't keep my long-term goals in mind. When I'm upset, when I can't control my emotions, the money just slips out of my hands. These things. These are the things to focus on. These are the things to work on. The rest of it, you're making choices. The Ace of Cups is coming in. Ace of Pentacles is coming in. You're riding high in that chariot. You feel like you're proficient and becoming more skilled. The Magician. You have a lot to say. Judgment. You're in the mood for something serious and practical. Three of Pentacles. But this Seven of Cups, don't be fooled. This can ruin everything. Because what's the point of being motivated? What's the point of choosing something you want to do when it's your own emotions that tie your hands behind your back? What does it matter what ambitions you have when your own emotional state won't let you succeed? This is what you must tackle, perhaps for the rest of your life, but especially now. Because this Aries energy that comes in about 10, 12 days, it wants you to kick ass. And so it wants to kick your ass first. So you know how to do it. Stay away from the drama. Stay away from any investment that you can see is not completely on the up and up. I would even say just stay away from the investments. There's really no need for you to be investing right now. There isn't. You don't need to be doing this. You can just as easily save your money, hold on to it, and not, and just not. Let's just not. Let's just not. There will be better months for investments. There will be better months where your relationship with money is much more sound. That'll be the time, not now. Okay? All right. Now, if you would like a personal 7 to 10 minute recorded reading, check out the Cameo link below. If you are more interested in a one-on-one video chat reading, check out the Chatalize link below. If you would like a look at the daily astrological transits and how they apply to your signs, please check out at the Quietest Revolution on Instagram and come join the Rev Fam. What else? There is a full moon question answer Zoom event called a satsang for Aries season happening at the end of March. There are tickets for that below as well. And if you are interested in these rings, excuse me, these are the Revolution rings. This is the Empress and this is the World. The World is in production now. The Empress is available for sale now. You can check out pictures of the rings, and there is a link to purchase the rings below as well. All right. If you check out the Patreon link below, there will be an option for you to receive your early Cancer reading that's been out for about 2 weeks. this reading here and the extended all in one place. You never have to go searching for it again. It all comes to you there without any hassle. So if you're interested in the Cancer tier on Patreon, I'll leave a link for that below as well. Okay? Love you, love you. Let's get into this extended.